When you're watching Super Bowl 59, Jason, when did you know it wasn't the Chiefs' night? When did you know that?
As soon as Kendrick Lamar came on, it was just like, yo, you know what? We can just throw a concert, put on Pandora after this, and just continue to let the music just ride on out. You just watched the way, obviously, the game started. And for me, it was when the Chiefs had no answer to anything. You saw early on Patrick Mahomes trying to figure out what exactly the Eagles were going to do. And the Eagles never changed. And that was the crazy thing to me. I remember being in my Super Bowl, we played the Rams, and we kind of anticipated the second half they may try to get to this or get to that. From the first series on, they never made any adjustments to make it more challenging for the Philadelphia Eagles. So early on, I was like, oh, we got a ball game. When I saw the way Kansas City was stopping Saquon in the running game, it was just like, all right, they're going to have to find another way. But to have no answer for just a four-man rush, Fangio didn't blitz them at all. It was the same four guys coming at them every single play. And to never have an answer, no max protects to get guys open, nothing. Andy Reid's one of the greatest coaches we've ever seen in this game, and he couldn't figure out a way to do anything until the game was well to being over.
Well, what's the secret sauce here, Jason? And again, I know Week 18 didn't mean anything for the Eagles in terms of seeding, in terms of making the playoffs, in terms of just staying healthy and making sure everyone would be ready for their opening round game the next week in Philadelphia. But being around the team, talking to Sirianni, take me behind the scenes here of what you know it takes to have a championship unit and what you saw from Philadelphia, Jason.
It's so funny because with Nick Sirianni early in the season, it felt like week after week in sports media, we were all trying to fire him, and you were all calling for, he's not the guy, he's a clown, and all these different things. And I've never gotten a chance to sit down and talk with him. So I had them twice this year, their game against Jacksonville and then that game against the Giants at the end of the season. And the one thing I was able to see is how much the guys in that locker room just love being around one another. We spoke to C.J. Gardner-Johnson earlier in the year, and we asked him about Nick Sirianni. And he talked about how crazy Sirianni is. The one thing they know is that he loves them as players, and they love playing for him. And you think about, you fast forward to the Commanders game late in the season, C.J. Gardner-Johnson gets thrown out in that game. And he talked about how bad he felt and wanting to come back for Sirianni and for the guys. You think about in that game, Sirianni and Jalen Carter get into it on the sideline, and they're able to patch things up and move forward. The difference to me about this Philadelphia Eagles team was their ability to overcome adversity. And that's a complete 180 from what we saw last year with this team that was 10-1, hit some adversity, and then just went completely in the tank. And that, I think, is the difference of adding certain guys. You added Saquon Barkley, even a Mekhi Becton for that standpoint, a guy that early in his career had only been through adversity. So you have guys in your locker room that now can talk to you about the other side when things aren't going well. So I think it was an extremely close-knit group. And then at the end of the day, they were talented as hell. They were the best team on paper in the NFL. And the second part was it. You just had to put it together and get guys to believe, and that's what they were able to do.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.